Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video I'm going to show you a really cool team you can use for going from the first level to level 500 with this team, and it'll be an absolute walk in the park. There are teams that will be quicker in the early stages, like if you go for a Gob Truffle team for example, chuck as many of them in there as you can and you'll do it really quickly on the early stages, but this team works superbly well on the later ones and makes an absolute mincemeat of it. So as ever, grab tier 1 if you can from the shop. If you have your horde level on level 100 on Amanithrax already, then you will have a potion of enchantment stored, so no need to actually buy one via the tier 1 here. You do get other stuff at the same time, and of course if you're going to buy other tiers anyway, then that's going to become irrelevant as you have to buy tier 1 to buy the others. There is a fairly cool weapon at tier 4. This is the Tome of Spores. It deals scatter damage boosted by Amanithrax allies. Explodes 3 gems for each Amanithrax ally and summons a Amanithrax troop. So pretty cool, but I'm going to show this team in the actual faction itself on the highest level. Like I say, just go with a Gob Truffle team on the early stages, a really easy way to go about it. But I'm going to show it on level 500 here to show the same team can work from the first stage to the last stage and requires no mythic whatsoever. That's really important. There are teams that use hiking, iron gut and things like that. But two things about that. You need that mythic in the first place, so it's a mythic team. And also you need your hiking iron gut on a very high level of attack to ensure that he does the devour. This team requires none of that sort of stuff and works really well. Now we're going to have Mang in first place. I prefer Mang over another armor ripper like Earth's Fury, for example, in this team because, well, Mang eliminates all armor. So on the highest levels, we're going to be ripping a huge amount of armor. This is on the early stages. On the later stages, it's going to be even more. And that whole lot gets converted to attack. So your Mang gets a really high level of attack. So any skulls are going to just start obliterating these opponents really easily. The benefit of Earth's Fury is it still rips away all the armor, but all your troops gain a boost to attack. Now, the boost to attack is nowhere near as high as it is with Mang, even though it is significant. And the idea behind that is if you lose one of your top troops or a couple of them, then the ones further down still have a high attack. But the point is in factions is not to lose troops in the first place, because once they're gone forever. So you can ensure this by having a really aggressive Mang, which is going to get rid of those enemies before they even know that they were there, basically. But we're going to be super safe with this team because we're going to get a non-stop barrier and a non-stop entangle on the top troop on the other team. Sylvana Mora entangles the first enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches. This makes this super safe and protects us from skulls. It does explode a column which generates mana and does deal some damage, but we're not too bothered about that. But that super handy entangle is absolutely superb, and it's important it goes on the first enemy. Gargoyle is here because it deals splash damage to an enemy boosted by all allies attack. Now remember, our attack on our Mang is going to go crazy high, so this boost is going to be absolutely huge in the end, and it's a construct at the same time, which basically means we benefit from that when we cast a Chalcedony. She does damage to a single enemy, then creates 3 brown gems boosted by all construct allies. So the only one we haven't got as a construct is Sylvana Mora, but that is worth the trade-off for that awesome entangle the first enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches. She won't loop as well as with a 4th construct. If you want a 4th construct and want to risk it, then you can chuck in a Zernabog, something like that. That is going to cause a brown storm at the same time and is a construct and generates tons of mana. So that is a good way to go if you want to go the no entangled route. So like I say, the banner for this is going to be +2 brown, +1 red, -1 purple bear banner. And the class, the Geomancer, all constructs start with 50%. That is everybody apart from Sylvana Mora, and reduce damage from skulls by 50%. Not that we care about that because we're going to have a non-stop barrier and the top troop entangled pretty much all the time. But we'll go for impacts. This one's irrelevant, well read. Anti-magic sphere, always good. Tactician, always good. Rock solid, fantastic. Gain a barrier when getting brown gems, which we'll be doing all the time. Stone Mastery or Tree of Knowledge, whichever, up to you. Doesn't make much difference because we get charged so quick in this team, to be honest. And Fortitude. So really cool. Let's dive in, and this is level 500, remember, so let's show how easy this is going to be even on the hardest level. Get a 4 match like that, bang, the top troop is entangled. You are not going to be doing any skull damage to me whatsoever, Sunshine. So we'll use our Mang, take away the armor on an opponent. Don't worry about giving them skulls because they're entangled, it doesn't make any difference. We can now use our Charge Donny to charge a team up, hit the opponent you took away the armor from, so you keep the armor on the other enemies. So basically you get more benefit to your Mang, but you can cast your Gargoyle if you like. It's going to do a bunch of damage. Mang is ready to roll again. Let's hit that on the top troop. You can cast Sylvanas Mora if we like. Do a bit of damage, explode a column, but I'm just going to regularly... Yeah, let's go for this. That's wiped out the bottom one. You can always get this if you like, because you're going to get a barrier. Give them that hit. They're going to get stunned when they do that, because we have impact that's taken away their traits. So let's get another barrier while at the same time charging up our Mang. Don't really need to do this now. But let's see if Charles Donny actually loops this time, because she failed dismally last time. Did we get a 4 match? Nope. We've got 698 attack, that is enough. Let's start wiping out these enemies. Nearly dead. And gone. That was actually a bit slow. That's normally quite a bit quicker than that. Let's see how the second battle goes. We'll take a little wander around the little lake in the middle there to the mythic boss at the end. You can do these other rooms if you so desire, but you will have to come back this way because we don't have a little paddle boat or waders, so we can't go across the water. Better start until the explosion ruined it, and that's what happens with a potion of explosion. It's like, I've noticed that. You see a really good start there, and the potion of explosion comes along and says, actually, I'm going to ruin that good start, which you just thought you were going to have. And kind of spoils it a bit. That's the way it goes. Doing large amounts of attack already. Enough for Charles Donny to finish them off. Let's get our Mang going. The top trooper is entangled. Let's take it off the opponent that hasn't lost any armour. Gargoyle is going to be doing extra damage. The boost look, 328. That is massive. Any skull hits are going to be hideous for the opposition, or you can just loop your Charles Donny. Technically, I'll cast that on the wrong person then. I should have cast that on the bottom troop to get rid of them, because you want to leave that entangle on the top troop, basically. So I'll do it properly this time. Let's put it on the troop at the bottom, get rid of them. Gargoyle is up. Huge boost. Hasta la vista. Next stage, Slither Pit. Nice 4 match there for a potion of explosion to ruin. Thank you very much. Should be called potion of mess up a good start. That's what it does a lot of the time. Right, no brown there though. So this is definitely not going to loop this time. So we'll hit the opponent that we've not taken any armour from while we get charged up again. Let's get our Mang up again for the second time. Can cast this. We've got a reasonable boost in power. That gets rid of them. 443. That troop is entangled. Got a 4 match. Let's cast this. That skull hit took care of them. 443. Ooh, not quite going to get rid of them. Let's see if we can cast this and see if those skulls stay there. No, they got transformed. Whatever. Got to take the rough with the smooth, said the porcupine to the hedgehog. Cast that because we've got a huge boost. And that's going to be an extra turn. And dead. Sometimes this is absolutely blindingly fast, depending upon your luck. This is a slower run at the moment to what I've done before. Sometimes this is like over Like so fast, it seems kind of ludicrous that it was a level 500. Can get a barrier. They're going to waste their skull hit if they decide to take it, which they decided not to. You can always cast this on the troops that have got armor reduction, or skull reduction, sorry, like reduce damage from skulls by 50%. Takes away their armor in one go, irrelevant of whether they've got that kind of reduction or not. Cast a Chalcedony on the troop, which you've taken their armor away from already, and now let's get some more buff to Mang, 650 now. Gargoyle, now the boost is plus 315, so we'll cast it on them because they thought they were going to cast a spell, but they were wrong. We've now got 650 odd attack. Don't need to entangle them first, we'll do that anyway, just to stop them from having it. So I'm greedy, I want it all. And get rid of them. And we get left a skull hit, which is going to be enough to wipe them out in one go. So not even in any sort of remote danger at any point. The top troop is nearly constantly entangled, and we've got a barrier constantly as well. Yay, the potion of explosion didn't ruin my good start. Happy days. We'll give them that hit because it's not going to do anything because we've got a barrier and the top troop is entangled. Let's get Chalcedony going. Let's cast it on the troop at the bottom because you want to save the armor for getting even more power with Mang. So let's do that again. Let's whack it on them. We've now got 1,000 attack already. Don't need to cast Mang anymore. Got a huge boost now for my Gargoyle. Boost is plus 433. This is where Savannah can even come in handy. Finish off the low level troops that have only got a small amount of life left and generate some mana at the same time. Oh, I wish I could cancel because I just seen that skull hit and I should have done that. That would have really hurt that top troop. But anyway, it is what it is. Minor error, but it's not going to make any difference to this game whatsoever. What should we do? What should we do? Choices, choices. Any random skull hits are going to just obliterate the opponent now. Getting some colours that I don't actually use now, which is very friendly of the game. Thank you so much. But there's a skull whack. Surviving even with 1,000 hit. Reduce damage from skulls by 33%. That's why it's important to have these powerful teams. Yeah, whatever. Was a mere flesh wound. That's a bit better. Some actual things I can use. What have we got now? 433 boost. Let's see if we get a lucky skull hit first. Now let's go for this. Let's just whack it on them. They're gone. And an easy skull hit, and never in any danger at any point. And that was... I've never actually failed to do that sort of thing with this team. It's a really good team, really reliable. Just make sure you keep a barrier on your hero by collecting brown, which is going to happen a lot anyway when you cast Chalcedony. And those 4 matches just keep the top troop entangled. Other options to that team, if you don't have that team or want to try something different, like I say, in the early stages, then certainly you can try something like a King Gob Truffle team. That sort of thing is going to be really quick in the early stages. Just a couple of Gob Truffles. King Avalon, anybody like that that does a damage to all benefit, as well as has 50% start, is going to be good. That makes King Gob Truffle probably quicker than... King Avalon quicker than King Gob Truffle at first, because he has 50% start as well and does damage to all. For those early stages, just chuck a couple of them in there. With a 50% start weapon that does damage to all, like Black Manacles, say. Let's take a quick look at an alternative for the early stages. So Black Manacles, troop. Let's type in damage to all. This is just for the early stages. The early stages, the quickest way is damage to all, just to get rid of everybody. In a single go, King Avalon, why not? A couple of them. Even a Gob Truffle in third place. Like here, you're not getting any mana blocking at all. You got purple and brown on the top troop. if you're on a 50% mana start team like Geomancer, or you could change that to Archer so you get the benefit of the 50% start from your King Avalon. You'll be doing damage to all from all of these. Yeah, it's going to be really easy on the early stages, but the team I showed is good for all. A team like this, or with a King Gob Truffle or similar, is going to be really good for the early stages where the enemy is weak. There's a video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to click that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.